Well, one man that knows the club better than most is the former City defender, Nedum Onuoha. Spent 16 years at the club. Delighted to say he's joining us once again on talkSPORT Breakfast. Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. How you all doing?
Good.
Are you as happy as David?
I am, but I'm not going to try and show it too much because I'm technically part of the media now, so I'm trying to remain calm and pretend to be impartial.
That's difficult.
But yes, I remember those words, and it means a lot. It means an awful lot.
I'll tell you the one thing, though, mate. I'll tell you where he has got a point. It was some team performance, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was absolutely outrageous. I think that's one of the strengths of City. Even though they have incredible individual talent, they all come together and work for each other, and that's ultimately, I think, why they're in the final now. And it's mind-blowing. Like, even the fact that they could bring on, say, in Aguero and Sterling, they're bringing on over 300 goals for the club. And how can you afford to have that on the bench in the Champions League semi-final? But that's the thing. It's all about the team. It's all about the way they play. And they've been absolutely astonishing this year.
We have been discussing all those little individual performances, even though it was a great all-round team performance. The defenders were just immense, weren't they? The centre-back partnership between Diaz and John Stones is just phenomenal. Yeah,
they were absolutely incredible. But the thing is, for me, it wasn't even a surprise. You look at the way they've played, as I say, over the past few months, they've been outstanding. But to give credit to the whole back line, because I thought Kyle Walker was top yesterday. I thought Zinchenko was exceptional. And then to give some credit to the, I think it was the birthday boy yesterday, Fernandinho.
Yeah.
What a performance from that fella.
36.
It's absolutely outrageous. And let's be clear as well, Di Maria doesn't get sent off if any other City player goes up to him. But he's got that little bit of nous in game management and just getting under people's skin. And, that changed the game completely, because after that point, I think most City fans would say they probably put the slippers on because they were very comfortable.
It was amazing.
Credit to him.
It was amazing to watch that, mate. And there's not been enough said about that, Gab, guys. I'm not sure. It was brilliant wind-up. Fernandinho sucked him right in. He just threw the line out and Di Maria took it. And I'm not sure, I might be wrong, is there a wee bit of history with him with the South American thing? I don't know, but I couldn't believe he took the bait.
Yeah, to be honest, most Brazilians and Argentinians don't really get along. Yeah. So there's a little hint of that as well. And as I say, I loved it. There was no reason for him to be there at all. And I probably wouldn't do it myself, but for him, he said, yeah, I'm front foot. Let's get it done. And he did it. And then also, to give credit to him again, when Zinchenko was having an incident, I think with Verratti, look who was the player who was in his face saying, come on, stop it. Stop it. There's more to this. There's more to this. And Zinchenko was so frustrated. But, when the father figure in the team is doing that to you, I think you got to calm down. Otherwise, you might be in a bit of trouble.
Nedum, do you think that it's very important for Manchester City, if they get Chelsea in the final, to respect them? Because Chelsea are a good team, aren't they?
Yeah, Chelsea are a very, very good team. I think, for me, obviously a Champions League final is incredible either way. But I think, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think the tougher game comes from playing against Chelsea, because Chelsea are so solid at this moment in time. And they have so many top players in attack and so on. And I think it'll be a less open game if it's Chelsea in the final. So I don't know. I'll be watching interestingly tonight in that game. And that is poison. It could go either way. But I fancy Chelsea to get to the final. And if that's the case, I think it makes for a very, very tough game. It's not necessarily the European night when you're playing against an iconic team like Real Madrid in Istanbul and so on and so forth. But the teams that get there, they deserve to be there, and as a consequence, it should make for a great game.
Do you think as well, considering what happened in the FA Cup between the two, how do you think Pep will approach it? I mean, we are talking like they are making the final, by the way, which they might not, but just hypothetically.
To be honest, so people this year, they've had to sort of kill off some of those narratives about Pep overthinking things, because he's been very, very consistent. Maybe not in selection, but in style of play and so on, for previous times. And one thing which I think he's done really well in the last 6 months or so is that he says it himself. He says he finds out what the other team are good at, tries to negate it, and then bring in his own team philosophy as well. And I think with Chelsea, they understand the fact that they lost in the semi-final, and that would have hurt them. But I think he'll have an understanding, if it's Chelsea that do make it to the final, what they're really, really good at. And look at yesterday, for example. Obviously, they didn't have Mbappe, but Neymar being one of the best players in the world. How many times was Neymar by himself as opposed to being swarmed by 3 or 4 people? These things don't happen by accident. So I believe, people have to accept that, Pep is one of the best, and ultimately he's putting out team plans and strategy at the minute, which really hit the nail on the head, as was the case yesterday, because I thought tactically it was nearly perfect.
I just think, looking at it as well, moving on, before we get to the Champions League final, it looks as though it's all going to be over in terms of the league at the weekend. I mean, what a season they are having. When you think, guys, they didn't have the best of starts in the league, or the best of starts to the season.
Yeah, not to take too much credit, but I was in America when City was struggling, and then as soon as I touched down, they won every single game. So I don't want to make it about me. But if you want to make it about me, then it's all about me. But no, but honestly, so many people were quick to write them off really early, and at that time, I think it was easy to do so because Liverpool were flying. United felt like they were flying. There were one or two teams who were playing really good football, but City found that level of consistency, and they did what most teams might never do in our lifetimes, and not just go unbeaten. They were winning every single game, and think how hard that is to match when it's something we've never seen before. So lo and behold, they gained some momentum, and then the real incredible moment for me was, I think, in January time, maybe February, when there was no Aguero and no Kevin De Bruyne, and City played some of the best football they've played all year. And you think to yourself at that point, like, I think the manager was onto something good there, and it's proven to be the case.
Absolutely. A Champions League final awaits, a Premier League title awaits as well. Massive season for Manchester City. Nedum, thank you so much for coming on this morning.
Thanks, mate.
Lovely to see you.